welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I am your very sleepy host, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, Marcus.
You can't be sleepy. We got a big show to recap. It's gonna be fun. You got a lot of spice to consume.
If you didn't want me to be sleepy, they shouldn't have made this pay-per-view 5 hours long.
Well, I don't think they were concerned about you specifically.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
It wasn't 5 hours. It was 4.
Started at 7.
The buy-in started at 7. The actual pay-per-view started at
The content that we watched was 5 hours long.
And I enjoyed
it. 5 hour long pay-per-view.
Did you not enjoy it?
Not really.
You specifically said after the show ended, you said it was a good show.
Okay, yeah, so it was a fine show. It was fine.
But you didn't enjoy it.
I just don't understand people saying that it was one of the best pay-per-views in, like, the world.
Is anyone saying that?
I've seen that.
Besides JR saying that this is the biggest show in AEW history?
Okay, well, JR. I've seen it, and I just don't get it. I just didn't...
I mean, it doesn't have to be, like, not the best show in the world to not be enjoyable. Or to be enjoyable.
Right? Like, certain parts where I was like, oh, this is really fun. And then, but the problem is that after, like, hour 3.5, hour 4, you lose me. I'm so tired.
Oh, that's your own fault.
Opinion. Exhausting.
Alright, well, AEW Revolution, big card, stacked card. This might have been the most matches on any AEW pay-per-view, though. I think it was. Chalking up at, I think it was 12 matches total.
Yeah.
Huge, stacked show. You want to just jump right into our predictions?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so for those who are unaware, for every pay-per-view, we predict the outcome of matches. It's called our Pinfall Predictions. And for every incorrect prediction, we have to do a dab of hot sauce. Today, I have the one Liz had last time, scorpion pepper Tabasco sauce. Liz, what do you have?
I have this new hot sauce that we got. I'm not really impressed by it. It wasn't very spicy. Yeah. It just tastes like buffalo sauce.
Okay.
Fair. I am putting on these, which are actually quite spicy.
And I am putting it on these Flamin' Hot Cheeto Puffs. And whoever gets the most correct predictions will be crowned the Pinfall Podcast Prediction Champion and deal out a punishment to the loser. Now I am the champion after 3 pay-per-views in a row. Ever since the Royal Rumble. I think it was the Rumble. So that punishment can be anything. After this pay-per-view, Liz, how did you do?
I lost.
Okay, well, why are you spoiling it?
I thought that's what you were asking me.
Oh, I'm asking your Oh my god.
No, I don't count the numbers. I've never counted the numbers.
You counted it last time. Literally last week you counted the numbers.
Counted it in the absolute moment. God. Okay. So I got 1. 2. Then eventually I got a 3rd one right. Got a 4th one right. Got...
What? 5?
5.
You got 5 right? Out of 11?
No, 6. 6.
A 6 right out of 11? You got 5 wrong. And I got 10 right and 1 wrong. I almost had a perfect show. I almost had a SummerSlam again. Never forget when I nailed that SummerSlam. We'll go into the specifics of the predictions, which ones we got right and wrong, as we go on with the recap. But my punishment to you. So, I got two I could think of. I know you're a little sleepy. There's something we could do about that. So I have
6 lines of cocaine.
I have a fortune cookie fortune. And on all of these fortune cookie fortunes, there are lucky numbers. We're going to see
Oh my God, you have to be kidding me.
We're going to see how lucky you are.
If this pay-per-view is any indicator, not very.
Let's see if you can guess what one of these numbers is. If you get it right, I'll give you the lesser of the 2 predictions. Or the punishments.
You have to guess one of the numbers.
I'll give you 2 tries.
I'm going to go with 41 and 23.
23 is correct.
A lucky number?
Yeah. You were close with 41, it was 43. It was 43, 17, 23, 31, 39, and 12. Alright. Well, just so you know, and just so everyone knows, the harder of the 2 predictions, or the worst of the 2 predictions, was I was going to have you sing Judas.
Oh my God, no, I would never have done that. I would not have done that. I wouldn't have done that.
Well, that's the point of a punishment. You're not supposed to like it. It's not like reading fan fiction.
But the thing is that, like, also the point of, like, not embarrassing me is not embarrassing me. Oh.
You want to just get off easy. Anyway, your punishment is, so with Control Your Narrative, they've got this thing called the rant room, where some person goes in and they berate a wrestler for 3 minutes without any consequence. No verbal backlash at all. So your punishment is the opposite of that. For everyone that follows, gives bits, subscribes or donates, or even redeems points, you're going to compliment them genuinely. It doesn't have to be a real compliment. It doesn't have to be like because most of these people you wouldn't know probably. You can make up stuff, but it has to be from the heart. It doesn't have to be for 3 minutes, but
yeah, I guess that's fair. 3 minutes is a long time to talk.
And if it's not, if I don't think it's genuine or from the heart, because you didn't want to take the other punishment, because you seem so adamant about that, you're gonna do an extra dab of hot sauce if I don't think your compliment is from the heart.
Okay.
All right. So if you want Liz to compliment you, if you want Liz to tell you how amazing you are, follow, subscribe, donate, give bits, redeem some channel points. Do whatever you want. Liz is a great complimenter.
I'm actually a pretty good complimenter, I think.
Yeah? Alright, so do you want to delve into the episode?
Can we talk about the fact that my bun is on, like, the opposite side of, like, my head?
It's what? Oh.
My bun. My haphazard little bun.
It's off kilter?
Very off kilter. Are we jumping into match number 1?
Yeah, but before we jump into this, let's just tell everyone what happened.
Have a little conversation real quick.
So we started. We got the pay-per-view. Got it on Sling.
$50 of it.
And we started it up at 7. And when it came on, everything was in Spanish. We got the Spanish version somehow on the English channel. And we were like scrambling trying to find like the English stream. We got to YouTube, watched that. Well, the stream on Sling on the pay-per-view we bought was in Spanish. So things might be a little frantic with the note-taking for this first buy-in match. But Sling eventually got it right and put the English stream up.
It doesn't help that like differentiation between streams is not exactly clear.
Yeah, they label it weird.
Yeah. Anyways, get a backbreaker right off the bat to Layla.
Oh, we didn't even say what this match was. So his first match is Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander. We both picked. Did we both pick Layla Hirsch to win? Or did you pick Chris?
I picked Chris. This was my first loss, actually.
Okay. So, dab of hot
for me
sauce.
to get a little bit of a, what's it called? Acid reflux.
Oh, very nice.
You know what's gonna make this worth it, though?
What?
I can love a Pringle.
Pringles are good. They're better Lays.
Yeah.
Also, these Flamin' Hot Cheetos are delicious. They're very hot, but they're delicious. And my favorite part, for those who don't know, they are in the shape of a little pepper. And they look nuclear on the screen. I did that one out of solidarity with you.
It's definitely not Scorpion Tabasco.
Uh-huh.
It's got a nice heat. I think if I were to eat like multiple of those in a row, I'd be like a little fucked.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so backbreaker right off the bat to Layla. You chose Layla, I chose Chris. We just went over this. I don't know why I'm going over it. Layla ends up kicking the arm of Statlander, then starts wrenching it against the bottom rope while she hangs upside down in the corner. Then she drop kicks it. We get a back elbow to Hirsch into an armbar, countered by Statlander with a body scissor submission. Statlander goes for the Big Bang Theory on the apron, but Layla avoids it. Step up Hurricane Rana to Statlander off the apron. That looked fucking nasty, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Layla gets her into the cross arm breaker. Statlander, however, gets Hirsch up top, gets pushed down, comes back. Hirsch comes back. Statlander comes back, flapjacks Hirsch onto the ground off the second rope. And then Hirsch goes to ringside. Looks kind of like she's like fucking around for a bit. Then pulls out a spare turnbuckle and hits Statlander with it, and then springboards off the ropes in a moonsault onto Statlander.
Yeah. Disappointing.
Yeah.
So up next, after that, we Don Callis comes out to the ring. Well, first Tony Schiavone's in the ring, and he's announcing somebody coming back. And Kenny's music plays, and Don Callis comes out, and Excalibur lets out a big "God damn it." So Don says, "What were you expecting? Somebody else? Tonight you're gonna listen to me. Kenny Omega and I gave you the greatest world title run in the history of this business. All while Kenny had catastrophic injuries. Excuse me. I blame all of you for that. You people who couldn't get enough. You people suck the blood out of Kenny Omega. Kenny, I was thinking of having him come down here tonight. When I saw what was on this pay-per-view, I was disgusted by the violence. ladder match, dog collar match. Danielson and Maxley will destroy each other. But it'll be a great time for the Elite. Young Bucks will win. Kenny has even created a group within a group. If Kenny were here tonight, he'd be winning the world title in the main event. Since he's not, I'm confident Cole will be your new AEW World Champion. I think Cole will be a fantastic transitional champion right until Kenny walks through those doors. There's only one diamond in this business, and his name is Kenny by God Omega. So then we get QT Marshall versus Hook. And before we get that match, QT comes out with a mic. He says, if there's one thing I've learned, when you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. So tonight, as much as I don't want to have to do this, I'm going to show Hook what being cold-hearted is all about. And obviously we picked Hook. We're not stupid.
I made some bad choices today. I have. But I wouldn't have made that bad choice.
Alright.
Also, they call them crisps on the nutrition facts.
Oh, do they? Huh.
Anyways. Yeah, didn't really take a ton of notes on this one. We got a new move that I've never heard of before called a Mirote Sayanagi to QT. Thanks, Excalibur. Who knows? Apparently Excalibur knows literally every move that's ever been done in wrestling.
That was Taz.
Yeah, it was Taz, because we were like, oh, Taz obviously knows the move because he probably taught him the move.
And he's the submission machine or something? No, he's the suplex machine.
Suplex machine, yeah. You're thinking of Submission Master, which is Zack Sabre Jr.
Sure.
Oh. I mean, that's what my brain went to. Hook then loads QT out of the ring. QT hits Hook in the throat. We get a shoulder capture suplex to QT, a vertical suplex to Hook, and then an elbow drop, and a Northern Lights suplex to QT. QT ends up breaking the eyes of Hook, hits him with a belly-to-back suplex. And then he goes up top and, like, slips off the ropes, looks like a bumbling old man, because the camera doesn't fucking capture it right. The camera only, like, has a close-up of QT, like, going up top and then slipping down. Don't capture... Thanks to Taz for this, but Taz pointed out Hook shook the ropes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Taz was watching his son closely.
So QT is then put into the red room for Hook to win. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah. So after that, we then get the last buy-in match: House of Black versus Penta Oscuro, Pac, and Eric Redbeard making his AEW debut.
And we don't have predictions for this because this was added at Rampage. We did not make predictions for it. Thank God for that, because I probably would have chosen Death Triangle.
Yeah, me too.
So we get a big boot to the face of Pac right off the bat from Malachi. Actually, before we start, can we talk about House of Black's walkout?
So good.
He looked so badass. Like, not to say the Death Triangle didn't look badass, and, like, with Alex looking like Darth Maul, but so we get a big boot to the face of Pac right off the bat from Malachi. Penta and Buddy get in. We get Sarah Mieto to Buddy, who wrenches the hand of Penta backwards. Funny, because, like, he's halfway through the Sarah Mieto, and Buddy just grabs him and goes, ah! It just starts moving so fast. We end up getting Brody versus Eric, and it's just a war of attrition against the two men. Eventually, Malachi and Buddy take both of the Death Triangle boys off the apron. Eric drop kicks the knee of an apron-bound Brody and then tackles him. They end up beating the shit out of Penta, who insecures Buddy to get Pac in. Pac just kicks the fuck out of Buddy. He wants to go up top, but Malachi intervenes. Buddy ends up DDTing Pac. Then Brody gets back in, slapping the titties of Pac. Matthews ends up getting the ref to look away while Malachi cheats just a little bit for head scissors submission on Pac. Penta then gets in after the House of Black, after Malachi and Buddy Pac from tagging out. Get a sling blade to Black and then to Buddy. Penta rolls through Malachi to hit a Canadian Destroyer off of Buddy, which was fucking cool. Redbeard then gets in, Senton's onto Buddy, and Malachi gets in off of that. Starts kicking Redbeard only to get hit with a brainbuster. The boot to the head of Redbeard, but Pac drop kicks Malachi. Buddy then Meteora's Pac. Penta thrust kicks Matthews, only for Malachi to remove him from the equation altogether. You get a poison round to Malachi from Pac, and then a Death Valley driver to Redbeard from King. He ends up diving out onto Redbeard, and then Pac hits a twisting moonsault onto Buddy. And if you're wondering why I don't know who's legal, it's because I didn't know who was legal for 90% of this match.
Yeah. Same with the rest of the tag matches today.
Yeah, it was just like the pin happened, and I was like, "Oh, you're accepting that? Fine."
Mm-hmm.
So Penta wants the maid in Japan, but Malachi fights out. Penta then sends Malachi into the buckles. The Fear Factor 2 Malachi on the apron, but Malachi isn't legal. Buddy is, so the pin doesn't count. Eventually we get a curb stomp to Penta from Matthews. Pac breaks up the cover. Then we get a choke slam to Matthews, but Eric is attacked by Malachi. There's a kick to Redbeard, but Redbeard is merely staggered. And then Malachi missed Redbeard, and he gets hit by a pump knee. And then Brody pile drives his ass into the mat. And Eric, bless his soul, that's the pin.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very fun match. Very great way to start the show and the buy-in. Personally, I would put that on the main card.
I would have put that on the main card, and honestly, I would have taken Sammy, Darby, and AHFO and put that on the show. I did not understand what the point of having that match in the pay-per-view was to begin with. That was a Rampage match.
Yeah, it was. All right, so then we started off the main card with Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. And I'm so glad I followed you and I went with Eddie because I was thinking of going Jericho. Glad I didn't.
Apparently, Hangman was wearing Pride-inspired gear.
Oh.
They're in Florida, and DeSantis has that "Don't Say Gay" bill.
Oh, okay.
Announced.
Wow. Good on Hangman.
Good man. I love him.
That's my champion.
He really is, actually. So, yeah, we both chose Eddie, and thank God for that, because I, again, would not have chosen Chris Jericho if you asked me to. So to start off the match, Eddie Kingston drops Chris Jericho right on his fucking head. To see it all off.
Yep.
He ends up hitting some machine gun chops to Jericho and then a DDT. A bunch of punches to Kingston up top and then a Hurricane Rana that brings him off the top rope, which I was kind of impressed by. I'm gonna be honest with you. I fucking hate Jericho, but like, it was a good move.
Yeah.
We end up on the apron. We get some knees to the chest of Eddie before a suplex off of the apron. And then a suplex belly to back to Kingston. And then another right on the head of Kingston. Jericho just wanted to get him back for that. And then Jericho hits the lion salt. It's not enough to get a pin. Kingston hits Jericho with a lariat. Jericho goes for the walls of Jericho, but he gets it. However, Eddie doesn't tap. Eddie reaches the ropes. We get a Saito suplex to Jericho, and then a second before a spinning back fist to Jericho. And then Eddie fucking cries to Aubrey for a hot second. I was like,
yeah.
Jericho gets the codebreaker off onto Eddie. Eddie still kicks out. We get another codebreaker.
That was a gnarly codebreaker.
Yeah, it was. It's connected.
Mm.
And then Kingston ends up getting Jericho into the stretch pump submission. Ed said a couple times after a back fist for Eddie to win and submit Jericho.
Yeah, and submitting Jericho is a huge thing. I feel like Eddie really needed this win, and hopefully now he can move on to, I don't know, going for a title or something. Maybe fight Sting if he's going after Legends.
Hmm.
Or Matt Hardy. Maybe Jeff Hardy. Regal. Or maybe he goes after Mox.
No.
Because Mox is now siding with Danielson.
No.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Eddie's just gonna be like, oh, it's fine.
Okay. Alright, so up next, we've got Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express for the tag titles. And who did you pick?
I picked Red Dragon.
And I picked Jurassic Express. And I was very worried about this choice. I was worried I was being too safe. But no. No. So, take your dab.
Whatever, man. Let's see.
And just a reminder, everybody, for everyone that follows, subscribes, donates, or gives bits, or even spends channel points, Liz will compliment the shit out of you.
Oh, shit.
She'll give you a heartfelt, genuine compliment. Alright, so tag team match. Triple threat.
Right on. So we start with Kyle and Jungle Boy. Kyle kicks Jungle Boy and pulls him off the ropes into a Jujikatami.
Hold the phone. We have a sub. Adro gifted to T-Rex. So compliment them both.
Right, does this count? Do I have to one each or just at the same time?
One each.
Okay. Trying to think here, sorry. First of all, is it Adro?
Edro.
Super appreciated your presence in our last stream because I believe you were around for our 2K20 stream. And I thought that your conversation making in the chat was super fun and it definitely helped us make the show a little more lively. So thank you for that.
And it's actually pronounced Edro. Thank you, Edro.
Sure. I'm sorry for mispronouncing it, Edro, but the compliment still stands. I know I'm being paid to make these compliments, but I mean them. I promise.
And again, they don't have to. You can make up shit. They don't have to be real.
I'm gonna try to compliment from the heart.
Okay. All right.
You told me to compliment from the heart. God damn it.
Okay. I appreciate it. And I'm sure they appreciate it too. All right. So T-Rex is next.
Oh, T-Rex. T-Rex, thank you. I know that we haven't posted. I don't think we have. We haven't posted a going live tweet in a minute or two. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
I posted one today.
Okay, so we post them, I guess, a lot. I just haven't noticed.
I post them every time we go live. You stopped retweeting them.
Because I completely forgot that they existed. You know who didn't? Rex, you often retweet them. You often like them. You often like a lot of our tweets. And that always makes me so happy when I go into the notifications after Mark's already read them and I haven't seen them at all. And I see like you and a lot of them. And I'm like, thank you. It means a lot. It's very nice to see. And it's just one of those little things when you're streaming that's nice to see somebody who cares so much. So thank you for that.
Very nice. Very nice. Very from the heart. All right. So anyway, let's continue with the match. Thank you, Edro, for the gift sub.
You guys enjoyed your compliment. I enjoy your presences. I'm not going to try to say that poorly. We start with Kyle and Jungle Boy, and if you think I made good notes for this, you're wrong. I didn't. These are really bad notes.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies. Um, Kyle kicks Jungle Boy, pulls him off the ropes into a Jujikatami. Just wanted to say that again. Bobby gets in. He gets out after a pump handle to Jungle Boy with Kyle. He gets Nick in. An arm drag off the ropes to Nick. And then Luchasaurus gets in, slaps the shit out of Nick, and then Matt. Then I'm trying to fight a hiccup. And then Bobby, and then Kyle. He wants to choke slam Nick as Nick comes back, but he's Nick is freed from the ring by Red Dragon and Matt. Jungle Boy dives out onto the field of men. I lose my cursor. Jungle Boy then gets a kick from Nick and a senton from Matt. Matt drop kicks Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus gets a glancing knee from Kyle before Young Bucks and Red Dragon team up on Luchasaurus to just kind of like finish it. Then Matt gets in. They bring Jungle Boy into a gutbuster from Nick and then a blockbuster from Matt. Kyle breaks up the cover though, and Matt's kind of like, what the fuck? We had a deal. And I'm sitting back like, what the fuck is the deal again? Because I don't really know any deal that's going to definitely benefit both of you.
Yeah, I don't know either. I was thinking like whoever pins Jurassic Express and the other doesn't break it up. Something like that.
Maybe?
They'll help each other. I don't know.
Setting themselves up for failure. Red Dragon gets in. We get a backbreaker to Jungle Boy from Bobby Fish, who, my fucking god, can that man scream his head off? How does he not get a migraine? I just want to know. I just just curious. Eventually, there's a knee to the chest of Jungle Boy from Kyle. Kyle then fakes out Young Bucks. Like, he's like, I'm gonna tag Kingston, don't worry. And then he doesn't. Young Bucks end up pulling Bobby out of the ring as he's going after Jungle Boy. They all go after Jungle Boy themselves. Jungle Boy then gets the upper hand on all the men. Kingsley's about to tag out. Bobby takes Luchasaurus off the apron. Kyle and Matt start squaring off. Kyle accidentally kicks Matt off the apron. Luchasaurus gets in, taking on literally everybody. We eventually get a Canadian Destroyer to Luchasaurus. It looked like it nearly killed him. However, Luchasaurus double choke slams Young Bucks and then individually choke slams Red Dragon. We get a standing moonsault from Luchasaurus onto Matt, but he kicks out of the pin. Jurassic Express go for the Doomsday device, but on Matt, but he still kicks out. Bobby then sweeps Jungle Boy's ankle. Matt accidentally super kicks Bobby. And Kyle gets in. And Kyle is ready to avenge his boy. Mind you, this is after Kyle accidentally super kicked Matt, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Missed that note. But anyways. O'Reilly ends up clotheslining Matt as Jungle Boy clotheslines him. Jungle Boy then tags in on Matt. And sends a shoulder into Kyle. We get Bobby back in. There's a tag team offense, a DDT into a suplex on Jungle Boy. Bobby and Jungle Boy go up top. Bobby is fought down. He hits Jungle Boy with the Avalanche Exploder still. Kyle hits a diving knee. I'm trying to figure out what that word was. And then we get a fucking diving headbutt from Bobby Fish. It's okay. We didn't expect him to make good choices today. While Kyle gets Jungle Boy in a leg breaker. It breaks down completely at this point. It's just everybody fighting everybody. We get a shooting star press onto Kyle, and then Nick hits one of his own to break the cover. Kyle uses Jungle Boy's title against Jungle Boy, but it's not enough. Eventually, we get a high-low to Jungle Boy from Red Dragon. Luchasaurus breaks up the cover. And Young Bucks take off Luchasaurus, super kick Bobby. We get a tag team offense utilizing Kyle and a BTE trigger to Jungle Boy, but Kyle breaks the cover. Eventually, Jungle Boy Hurricane Rana's Nick off the top rope. Hits Matt with a waistlock German suplex. We get a Jurassic Express for Jurassic Express win.
Yeah.
There was like a moment where it looked like Young Bucks were going to win, and I was like,
yeah,
don't want that.
But this was a big showcase for Luchasaurus. And I like that a lot. Because a lot of these guys are like very fast, very nimble. And then you have Luchasaurus, who clearly stands out among all of them. And it was really cool. He got a lot of time in the ring. Also, Idro asked, how can people get caught up on AEW? Is there like an old collection? There is not. It sucks. I wish there was.
I think the only way really to catch up, I know that they sometimes post full pay-per-views. Like that was a while ago. Like they posted like All In, All Out. One of the early ones. I think the best way at this point, I think the only way that I know of is I think on Sling they
No.
have like a library.
No, they don't. Because we record the episodes, they don't have an actual library.
Oh, I thought they did.
No. I think maybe with Hulu, with the live TV Hulu option, you might be able to go back. I know you can watch it on Hulu, but I don't know if you can go see old episodes. It really sucks. They need like a database collection of all their stuff.
There is a chance, I mean, and this is not like the best option. Maybe I shouldn't say this out loud.
What?
Maybe if you sometimes like, you know, it might be that you can find for free somewhere.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that out loud, but like I think there are a couple websites that stream episodes.
There are. I'm not gonna say them. Yeah, Idro, you might have to do that. You might have to do some illegal things. But I mean, now that they have the whole Ring of Honor archives, they should have like an AEW archive.
I think that's got to be next on like Tony's like to-do list.
Yeah, HBO Max. Get fucking AEW and Ring of Honor on HBO Max.
You can't tell me that like nobody is willing to like fund that or like make the space for that.
Yeah.
Can't tell me that.
There's like nothing wrong with just posting, like having an archive of all your shit. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good. All right, well, back to the episode. We then had the Face of the Revolution ladder match for the brass ring. Liz, who did you pick?
I picked War Daddy.
I picked War Daddy as well. And by God, did the man do it. Gave us correct predictions.
Yes, he did. Bless his soul and his velour gear.
Oh, his gear was so beautiful.
To start this off, Orange Cassidy decides that today's the day he wants to die. He gets in between Wardlow, Keith and Powerhouse Hobbs, and just like starts doing his little tippy-tappy kicks. However, he ducks as he's nearly tackled. He lets Wardlow and Hobbs tackle Lee, sending them out. Starks then drop kicks Christian after Christian hits Lee with a ladder. Cassidy is then nearly kill switched by Christian. I'm like trying not to, but I took my migraine medicine, so now I'm probably going to.
Mm-hmm.
Orange Cassidy then, so he's nearly kill switched by Christian. Gets Starks thrown out of the ring by Christian after Christian tosses Orange Cassidy out. Then get an inverted cutter to Hobbs from Cage off the ladder. And then Christian thinks that he's like trying to catch his breath in the corner, and then who comes up from behind him besides Keith fucking Lee?
Mm-hmm.
In typical Keith Lee fashion. Cassidy then thinks he's gonna Hurricane Rana Lee, but he can't. He uses Orange Cassidy as a battering ram against Wardlow and Hobbs. Wardlow ends up challenging Lee as he goes up a ladder. Both get hit by a different ladder, courtesy of Hobbs. Then Hobbs and Ricky Starks are racing up the ladder, only to get pushed off by OC. Cassidy then gets like the ladder over his head and like starts playing like helicopter with it. He's only stopped by Keith Lee and Wardlow. They lift the ladder up while Cassidy like clings to it. And then Cassidy curls himself up, goes like he's gonna fucking get the ring, but instead he falls directly on his balls. And Leslie crumples.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a ladder in the corner, just like kind of chilling out there, held by Keith Lee, if anybody didn't notice. Hobbs is on top of it with Cassidy. He's suplexes Cassidy off of it. Paige then spears Hobbs into a ladder, but Christian is just so slow setting the next ladder up that it doesn't mean anything. Starks then spears Christian Cage through ladder. And by through, I mean, here's the church, here's the steeple, and here's Ricky Starks flying through it.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, and he like nailed him. Albeit he had to jump a little bit to take the spear, but
yeah,
still fantastic.
Starkson goes up top, but Wardlow launches Starks off of the ladder, sets up his own ladder, gets tackled by Ricky, like pounced upon. Wardlow then climbs up with Ricky on his back and Orange Cassidy on his back. And then Powerhouse Hobbs goes up top. And then Keith Lee sets up a ladder and goes up top. And now every man is up top. Cassidy gets knocked off first. Cage gets knocked off second. Ricky and Keith Lee get knocked off next. And then it's just Hobbs and Wardlow. And then they both fight off, I think. And then Cassidy ends up with the big men. He gets thrown out by Lee. Hobbs gets thrown out as he tries to take Lee off the mat. And Lee gets taken out by Wardlow. Wardlow ends up going up ramp with Hobbs, beating up Keith Lee for a little bit, and they both grab a ladder at the same time and then tear the ladder in half. Like it's a fucking wet sheet of paper.
That was so crazy.
It was ridiculous. And back in the ring, it's Wardlow. Like, so we got a ladder set up. We got another ladder here against the ladder and the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know something's going to happen there. Ricky Starks goes up the ladder on the... Here's the one ladder, here's the next ladder side. He goes up here. Then Danhausen comes out of nowhere. And curses Ricky. And then Wardlow suplexes Ricky into the ladder, nearly kills him, and then he gets the ring to win.
Can I be honest? Can I be real honest here?
Or podcast.
I'm kind of getting tired of Danhausen randomly coming out and cursing. Unless it leads somewhere. Like, it hasn't led anywhere yet.
He just arrived.
This is like the third time he's done it. Or fourth time even. And this, oh, actually, I mean, Orange Cassidy. Guess they're a team.
Mm-hmm.
It's also weird that he's in Best Friends.
I like him.
You're right, Idro. He is still rehabbing his leg, but at the same time, I don't know. I think stuffing him with Best Friends is a bit weird. He should just not be with anyone, you know? I don't know.
I don't mind him. I've been enjoying him.
Okay. Maybe it's just me then. You're right, Idro. His voice would get annoying on commentary.
That's probably true.
Yeah. Okay. So, maybe some like interview stuff. He should try and be like an interviewer for a little bit.
That would be fun. Oh.
His YouTube channel is great.
Yeah.
We watch his vlogs sometimes.
It's very weird though, because every once in a while, like during his vlogs, you'll see like regular Danhausen, like the man himself in his human face paint, as he would say.
Yeah.
And it always makes me like.
Oh, Idro's a good suggestion. Have him do the pre-show.
Yeah.
Him and Taz.
Oh my god, Taz wouldn't know what to do with him.
Oh, he does.
Like,
he does do the pre-show. Oh. Well, he didn't do like the buy-in. Maybe like the pre. Oh, okay, the one on YouTube. Oh, I think I know what Idro's talking about. Because I think Alex Abrahantes does it, or did it. Unless I'm thinking of something different. Yeah, it's that one. It's like its own video. Abrahantes used to do it. But yeah. Huh. I didn't know Danhausen does it. We'll have to watch it.
Oh.
So after that, we get Tony Schiavone coming out. He says he's got a special signing. Um, God, the lights just went outside and it freaked me out. He says he's a special signing, and he's holding up the contract, and the contract already says the name on it. But the person who's being signed to AEW is Shane Strickland, Swerve the realist, whatever you want to call him, whatever he's going by now. Swerve is now all elite, and my God, is he over already? He comes out, signs the contract, says the real is back. I can go on and on about the dream matches, the championships, but all I gotta say is, I got a question. Whose house? Crowd goes, Swerve's house. They know. This dude is so over. Oh my God. Oh, it's insane.
It really is.
I had no idea where they could put him. I think maybe they might put him with Darby, because they're good friends in reality. But so then we get Jade Cargill versus Tyconti for the TBS championship, and we both picked Jade. We'd be fools to not.
Let's start with Jade Cargill's outfit.
Jade looked amazing.
Did.
Came out as Jade from Mortal Kombat. It looked amazing.
Really did. She starts by kissing Ty straight on the lips. I said,
It's evolution. She kissed her on the forehead last time, now she's got to kiss her on the lips.
I was pleased. Get a swinging DDT to Jade, and then a pump kick to the chest of Anna Jay. And by a pump kick, I mean like she like straight up just fucking shot Anna Jay out of Florida. Anna then hits Jade with a chair, which is sort of cheating. It's like, Anna, I know you're mad. I get it. You just got like your chest inverted. But you're not part of the match. So really, you're free game. You're not allowed to hit one of the challengers with a chair. It's a heel thing to do.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Anyways. Then Ty kisses Jade. We get a failed Ty KO. Jade manages an Eye of the Storm, but can't pin Ty. Then Jade hits a frog splash for I think the first time, and she looked fucking. It was a great frog splash. She looked amazing. Ty then drives Jade into the mat. Can't get the pin. Decides to go up top instead. Nothing really comes of that. Eventually, Jade gets the jaded to Ty in order to win the match. Oh yeah. Not shocking.
It was a pretty fun match, though. It was pretty good.
Yeah. And I felt like this was a Rampage match.
Yeah, but Jade looks like $1 million.
She's getting better and better every time. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, she's got so much. She's got so much. Who knows how? Like I could see her holding on to that title for a long time.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. All right, so then we've got MJF versus CM Punk. Holy shit. This was amazing.
Yeah. We both, or no, we didn't. You chose CM Punk.
I chose CM Punk. I don't know why.
I stupidly chose Maxwell.
I think I woke up this morning and I was like, shit, I should have picked MJF. Because they want to keep him winning. But no. Look at you, just scooping some off the bottle.
Spicy.
No selling it. Idra thought you were going to drink the hot sauce.
I probably could. This is really yummy. It's just not spicy.
Can't no sell it. But those chips are spicy. They are very spicy. All right. So yeah, MJF versus CM Punk dog collar match.
These ships are doing the heavy lifting right now.
Yeah.
Nights like tonight, I'm glad that we don't do drink for every wrong prediction because I'd
Oh.
be fucked.
Oh yeah. A whole can for every wrong one. That was a bit extreme. We did that for a while.
Now we're better.
Yeah.
MJF is doing basically everything in the beginning of this match to avoid getting reeled in by Punk. He's getting choked though. Maxwell offers an apology only to get kicked and then punched by Punk. We get a powerbomb to Punk. MJF whips him with the chain, and then Punk is just bloody. I think that's purely because the cut on Punk's head definitely had not healed.
Yeah.
In time. Maxwell goes up top. He calls the crowd a bunch of schmucks and then gets pulled off top buckle, which really is probably how I would go out too at the end of the day. Call everyone a bunch of schmucks and somehow eat shit afterwards. That's an Elizabeth thing. There's a headbutt. Then headbutts the groin of MJF. Hits him with a bulldog. Knees Maxwell in the hand with like right into the chain. Fucking horrible. MJF then starts choking Punk out. We see Maxwell go for Salt of the Earth, but Punk stays alive, bleeding everywhere, rolls MJF up, tries to get the Anaconda Vice locked in, but MJF ends up pulling Punk off by the hair. Punk ends up Alabama slamming MJF. V trigger to Maxwell with a chain. MJF ends up kind of bloody because he's under the fucking like apron for like a little while.
Oh yeah.
And then shockingly comes out bleeding, and I was like, "Oh, fucking crazy!"
Yeah, Cameron didn't pan down to you once in those 5 minutes. Wonder what you could have been doing.
Punk goes knee first into the steel steps, though. Eventually, MJF goes for the tombstone on the apron, but his hand is hurting from that chain. Punk ends up countering with one of his own. Something goes up top with a chain wrapped around his elbow, and MJF rolls out of the way as he hits the diving elbow right into the mat. And then, as I often like to say, the thumbtacks make their first appearance. So it's officially a death match. Punk ends up biting the hand of MJF after MJF pours out the thumbtacks. Punk wants a brainbuster onto the thumbtacks. MJF avoids it. MJF goes for the same. Punk avoids it. We get a roundhouse with some tacks in the boot to MJF. And then MJF eventually hits the superplex onto the tacks. Around on the tacks for a little while. Maxwell then calls for Wardlow desperately. Wardlow comes out. Wardlow like pats his pockets. He's like, "Holy fuck! I don't have the fucking ring. I don't have what you want." So Maxwell's like, "Well, fuck. I guess I'm going back to the ring. I'm gonna fucking do something here." Punk ends up putting MJF down. It's just Punk and Wardlow now. Wardlow reaches into his little breast pocket, pulls it out, puts the ring on the mat, says, "And I'm out. Thank you." Fucks off. MJF eventually spits in the face of Punk, but Punk hits him with the ring to win.
That was such a great finish. It was so great. Yeah. So cathartic.
I know, that was sick.
Oh, God. And Wardlow has now 100% turned on MJF. Great stuff. Great stuff. You just said in kayfabe we shouldn't see any more Wardlow. That's technically right. Like, he's not signed to AEW according to MJF. He's signed to MJF. So
True.
On Wednesday, Tony Khan should just tweet out Wardlow's all elite.
That'd be fucking funny, actually.
Excuse me. Um, that would be so funny. That'd be so funny. So then we go to Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship. And oh, you're taking it already. What?
Poured too much.
Pour too much. Okay.
It's about to drip everywhere.
We both picked Thunder Rosa because we had no idea that AEW would want to save the win for her hometown in 2 weeks. Oh, Liz is. Oops, she's frozen. Okay, you're good. You're good. You're not frozen anymore. Don't know what happened there.
I don't either, because you weren't frozen for me.
Oh, that was weird. Something must be wrong with our internet for that second. Oh, I gotta take my only dab this time. Damn. Also, Idris said that your frozen screen was very funny.
I'm glad.
It was your eyes closed, leaning forward. So I'm gonna try and get hot sauce on this little puff. I'm gonna try.
I can't wait to see how you react to the Scorpion Tabasco, because it's nasty.
Oh, it's nasty?
She's a bitch.
Alright, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can kind of see it.
It's all red.
You can kind of see it. Alright. This is gonna be hot.
So while Mark dies from this, I just want everyone to remember, if you had tuned into our last pay-per-view, and if you haven't, I like 5 and somehow with this on it. I suffered. I powered through.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah.
That was my only one. But that was insanely hot. Oh, I know it's Tabasco, but it's Scorpion Tabasco. On a flaming hot Cheeto. Alright. Thunder and Britt.
Yeah, I just want everyone to remember that I took that like a fucking champ.
Yeah, you know sells shit. And it bothers me.
You no sell it?
I give my genuine reaction to people. You fight it.
I don't fight it. I just don't want to look like I'm like panting. I have composure.
Composure is boring. I give my real self. That was painful. It's still painful. My tongue is on fire. Fucking no seller. Fucking Hulk Hogan over here.
There's a lot of ways to be mean to me. I don't know why that's the one you're choosing.
It's so hot.
I hope it fucking is. Anyways. So we start, it's just 2 ladies slapping the shit out of each other. As it should be. Britt ends up getting Thunder tangled in the buckles, hits her with a neck breaker, interferes in the match just a little bit. Then it kind of bonks Thunder Rosa into the second buckle. It pulls Rosa into the post before tangling her legs around the ropes. Eventually, she goes for the hammerlock armbar on Rosa, but Rosa fights back with some back elbows. She clotheslines Britt a couple times, hits her with a drop toe hold before a drop kick to the spine of Baker, and then a drop kick to the chest. Rosa gets the Northern Lights suplex to Britt. Britt doesn't really, not quite phased by it. She gets an air raid crash off to Rosa, and a pendulum suplex, and then a butterfly suplex. She wants lockjaw, but Rosa drop kicks her in the chest, and then brings her up top with a big old superplex. Floats over into a fireman's carry neck breaker. Then a sliding lariat to Britt. Eventually, she then gets the spinning neck breaker, or Britt gets the spinning neck breaker off to Rosa. Double underhook suplex. Britt, however, still can't get the pin. She hits the avalanche air raid crash. She wants the tombstone, or she goes for the avalanche air raid crash to Rosa. Rosa wants the tombstone pile driver, but Britt avoids it. Rosa eventually gets it. Paul Turner, the referee, is busy arguing with Rebel, who's up on the apron for like I don't know if this was like the 900th time, but she did it several times. Get a stomp on the belt, but Thunder kicks out in spite. Thunder then pulls out the lockjaw on Britt herself, which I thought was fucking fun. But it doesn't matter. Instead of Britt tapping, because Rebel is just distracting. Thunder then spears Rebel. Jamie gets fucking lariated by Rosa, and like that's around the time when you're like, oh, this is Rosa's moment. Like she took out the opposition. But when she gets back in the ring, Britt stomps her for the win, and I just kind of sat back like,
yep, yep. It's kind of if they just give Thunder Rosa the win at St. Patty's Day, gonna be so lame. Gonna be so lame, and the fact that she got no help from Mercedes. Come on, I don't believe that. I don't believe that whatsoever. So then, up next, we get Bryan Danielson versus Jon Maxley.
man.
We both picked Mox, right? Yeah.
We're just fucking grappling.
Great match.
There's solid arms to the face of Danielson. We get a kick to the chest of Danielson, which eventually are stopped with a dragon screw. Danielson suplexes Moxley. He wants the diving headbutt, but Moxley evades it. We get some knees to the chest of Moxley and a drop kick to the face of Moxley. And a guillotine on Moxley. And then Moxley just fucking loads Danielson out of the ring, sends him flying. And at this point, Moxley is covered in blood. He wants the paradigm shift, but he can't get it. Lariat's the absolute bejesus out of Danielson. Rakes the back of Bryan while Bryan sits up top. We then get a suplex to Moxley off the top buckle, though. And he goes right into wanting the straitjacket, but Moxley reaches the ropes. Mox starts choking the life out of Danielson with a bulldog choke. Gets him into an arm breaker, but Danielson gets free. He puts Moxley in the label lock. Doesn't really work out. He gets thrown back into the bulldog choke. Gets locked in. We then have a shoulder capture suplex to Moxley to get free. And a flying knee to the head of Moxley that apparently has a name now, which I didn't know. I didn't understand it. Eventually, Danielson gets the triangle sleeper on Moxley, and he thinks he's won. He's flexing. But Moxley rolls through and pins Danielson, even though Danielson's shoulder was kind of up the entire time.
It was very up. But I think that was the intended goal because Danielson started to fight with Bryce, and Bryce like got in his face.
Bryce pushed him back in the same way that Jericho argued with Aubrey in his match, and Aubrey like shoved him, and I was like,
yeah. And then Danielson and Mox start going at it with each other, and then somebody comes out to break them up, and it's Daddy Regs. William Regal comes out and makes his first AEW appearance and breaks up Mox and Danielson. He punches Mox and then slaps the shit out of Daniel. That was a stiff slap. Also, Idris said Jericho and Aubrey is a long-term booking. They fight in every match. I do remember them having a thing when he was fighting Nick Gage.
I know that Jericho always wants Aubrey reffing his matches. I didn't know that they always fought, though. That's interesting.
Yeah, they always butt heads or something.
One day we'll get it.
So yeah, Regal slaps Danielson, tells him to shake hands, and they do. So not only did we get a Danielson Mox match And we're getting a Danielson and Mox tag team, but it's going to be a tag team managed by William Regal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if only that, to add to that stable, would be Samoa Joe. That would be insane. Oh my god.
It'd be fun.
All right. Then we get our could add Swerve. Although I don't know. I want Swerve to be alone. He did say he wants to be solo for a bit, discover his character. But I feel like he's gonna team up with Darby. Still feel like that's a possibility. All right, so then we get the second to last match: Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara in a Tornado Trios match. And I picked Sting, Darby, and Sammy. Who'd you pick?
I picked the team that is respectable. Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy.
Poor Isaiah.
He literally couldn't pay me any money to choose Darby and Sammy.
Isaiah got annihilated and was like out for the rest of the match.
Yeah. Oopsies. Okay, I'm just gonna put that in my mouth.
All right, I believe that's your final chip. Final dab.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Okay. So, Zay ends up with a trash can on his head. Darby dives into said trash can. Then Andrade frees him. Just fucking launches Sammy onto the gate, onto the barricade. Like, if Sammy ends up having broken ribs, I will fully understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be shocked if he doesn't. Both men, Darby and Sammy, suplex Andrade. Sting then attacks, hits Matt Hardy and Isaiah with a trash can. We get a springboard cutter to Isaiah. Andrade then launches Sting into the buckles. Andrade then stomps the rest of Darby, flying off of the top buckle. Get a twist of fate to Sammy from Matt. And then Mark Quinn comes in, and he hits Sammy with a chair. We end up in the crowd with Matt Hardy and Sting and Darby ends up out there with Andrade. Butcher and Blade come out. They attack Sting. Sammy and Isaiah then, we cut back to them. They're up top on like one of the walls that like kind of hide where people are walking out from.
Mm-hmm.
And we now have two tables set up at the top of the ramp. Isaiah had every intention of diving down onto Sammy, onto one of the tables, but Sammy gets up, goes up top, and hits a Spanish fly to Isaiah off the top into the table. Isaiah.
That was insane.
We never saw him again.
Yeah.
And we're back in the crowd. There's two tables set up, another one on top of it. Butcher and Blade were the ones to set it up, and you can see in Butcher's eyes where he's just like, he's not quite convinced that this is the right idea at all.
He's like, glad it's not me.
Yeah. Then we have Matt and Sting fighting, like the intention is for them to go through the tables. But Andrade fights Darby right near the tables, ends up deciding that he's going to take a nap on top of the tables. And then Sting hits the Stinger Splash onto Andrade. Back in the ring, we get a solid chair shot to Darby. Matt Hardy goes for a twist of fate, but Darby gets free. Hits the Scorpion Death Drop onto Hardy. And a coffin drop to finish Hardy off to win. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Also, nothing to do with AEW at all. New feature I'm seeing was added into 2K22. That'd be very interesting for our streams. You can now edit matches in universe mode when the show's already started.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, you can actually create like a real King of the Ring now. For tournament.
Nice.
Tag League.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. Alright, so after that, we didn't get any Jeff Hardy. I was expecting Jeff Hardy.
I think a lot of us were.
Now we have the main event, Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole. Now, I gotta be honest, I didn't love this match. Bit overbooked.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it either. Oh dear. Well, I'll be right back.
What?
My laptop's about to die and I took both my chargers out of here.
Oh, okay. God damn it.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Just to reiterate, everybody, for those who are just tuning in or tuned in recently, Liz's punishment for losing the predictions is that she must give a very dear and sincere to the heart compliment. Anybody who follows, subscribes, donates, gives bits, or even redeems channel points. And she's given very much, that one's very much from the heart. So if you want her to compliment you, oh wow, that was fast. If you want her to compliment you in the most dearest way, do any of those things I listed. We'll see how long it takes for her to actually get it set up. Adro! Oh, thank you, Adro, for the gift sub to Liz.
Yeah.
Alright, so another compliment for Idro, and you know what? Compliment yourself. A little self-love.
Okay. Idro, thank you for sticking it out for this entire podcast. We really appreciate it. We know, at least for us, it's pretty late. I don't know what time it is where you are, but we really appreciate it. I know that this was a long pay-per-view and it's a late podcast, so I hope that we get to see you more often. Perhaps at earlier times for us.
Yeah. So compliment yourself.
Dear Elizabeth.
Not good enough. Take a dab.
I didn't start. Dear Elizabeth, I'm very proud of your growth as a human being over time. I am also very proud.
Stroke your hair as you say this. Oh my god.
I'm also very proud that you learned how to deal with your hair. That you paid a lot of money to dye parts of it blonde.
All right. Let's continue on to Adam versus Adam.
I don't need to compliment myself. What was I gonna do?
Shouldn't have mentioned it. Shouldn't have told you to do it.
You should have had to compliment me.
Alright, so for our final prediction, we both picked Adam Page. And we both got it right. Look at us. 10-1, baby. Only one wrong.
Oh.
One that should have been right.
Start with some chopstickle. Well, actually, we didn't start with that. There was a lot of vibing to be in the match. We get some chopstickle, a short arm lariat. Paige whips Cole into barricade after barricade. Cole then sends Paige into the stairs. We get a neckbreaker to Paige from Cole. He starts getting mad at Adam Cole, and Adam Cole turns around and tells him to shut the hell up. Cole then wraps. Oh, this was sorry. Started getting mad. Cole wraps Paige's arm around the ropes. That's when he gets yelled at by Bryce, and he starts yelling back. Okay, I jumped the gun. Hanger then bumps Cole up, like pops him up. Cole, however, comes down, bringing Hangman into a backstabber. We get a fallaway slam to Cole, and then a big moonsault to Cole after a powerbomb onto the apron. Paige hits Cole with a Liger bomb. Cole ends up getting a super kick to Paige as he flies through the air. Paige, that was actually really wild because that was like pinpoint accuracy, like right there. Got a cat fur on my nose. So that was a really cool move.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman then gets Cole, throws him down to a Deadeye. We get a field neckbreaker to Paige. He gets the tombstone, but no pin. We get an Enzuigiri to Paige and a deadlift German to Cole. Cole reverses it into a neckbreaker. He goes up top, hits a Death Valley driver off the top rope, and then Red Dragon come out. He wants the Panner out. I'm gonna ram up. Fuck me, I'm so tired.
You can do it.
Try that again.
You could do it.
He wants the Panama Sunrise, but Hangman goes for the Deadeye instead. Neither of them get what they want. Red Dragon distract while Cole gets a low blow, hits the Panama Sunrise to Hangman, and the last shot. However, he did not lower his knee pad. Thank you, Excalibur. So when he goes to pin, it's just not hard enough, and the pin doesn't work. Paige kicks out. He kicks Paige in the head. Get a big lariat to Cole though, and a near buckshot, but Cole kicks him with a super kick instead. He can't get the last shot though because Hangman collapses. Then Red Dragon set up two tables one table. And they're like, "Oh, Cole, finish him!" And Cole gets dead-eyed right through the table. Dark Order then come out. They chase out Red Dragon. There's a buckshot. But he covers. Cole gets the rope. Cole then gets out of frustration. Paige ties him to the ropes with a belt, much to Bryce's dismay. And then Paige super kicks him multiple times. We get a hard super kick to the face of Hangman. Cole then frees his arm just to get super kicked again. We get a last shot to Cole, and Paige gets the buckshot lariat to win the match.
Yeah.
Retain.
Yep. I don't know. I feel like it wasn't overbooked enough to be worth it, but it was too much to be a clean match.
Yeah.
You're
right.
Like if Kenny showed up, or Jay White.
Somebody showed up. Jay showed up even.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that Jay didn't, because like Jay's like beef.
To carry on a story.
Right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows what the story was behind this, but for what we got, didn't love it. It was fun. It was a good finish. But it was just pretty fun. All right. So that is our recap. Liz, would you like to go on to our bests of the night?
It would.
Also, thank you, Ichiro, for pointing out Jade Cargill tweeted soft lips at Tyconti. What is happening?
I don't mean to be like this. I don't mean to be exceptionally not straight, but what?
All right. So you want to talk about?
It's just meant to exist right now.
You want to talk about best of the night?
Let's talk about best of the night. Best tweet of the night.
Okay. Best kiss of the night. Oh wait, I forgot we have kiss of the year on the Mike Romy's nominations. Had that one.
We.
Where is kiss of the year? Oh, there it is.
Who the fuck won that last year?
Did win that. Oh, it was John Silver and Alex Reynolds to Adam Cole.
Okay, I'm getting it now.
Okay. All right, so wrestler of the night. I'm gonna give you 3 choices. Trace. Let's see. It's one. Man, this is tough since there were so many people. Huh. Okay. Alright, this might not be popular.
Oh dear.
I'll give you 4. Give you 4. So, Luchasaurus, Ricky Starks, MJF, and Bryan Danielson.
Are you willing to swap MJF for CM Punk?
I'll swap Luchasaurus for CM Punk.
Okay, I was just gonna equal exchange.
Okay.
I'm choosing CM Punk.
Figured you would.
I thought that he did a
Alright.
really good job.
Alright, fine. But only because MJF took a long time to blade.
You did, and it was not a very successful blade at all.
Alright. Yeah, Idro. Special shout out to Orange Cassidy because he was funny. I should mention before we continue on, if you have a question for our question segment, please leave it in the chat now, and we'll get to it in the next one. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment, and we'll get to it in the next episode, which will be Dynamite. Dynamite. I should check, or at least have that open. Alright. And the questions can be anything, wrestling or non-wrestling. Alright, match of the night. I feel like we might be in agreement here. Maybe? But we'll see. So, as always, we go from worst match to the best match of the night. And we'll talk about which one is the match of the night. So, worst match of the night. QT Marshall versus Hook.
No.
Then, I'm gonna blow through these since
There's a lot of matches. That's fair.
there's a lot of matches. Next is Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander, both at 4 out of 10. At 5 out of 10, Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. Next, at 6 out of 10, Hangman Page versus Adam Cole. Adam versus Adam. This is Adam. Another 6 out of 10, Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah. Cassidy versus Sting, Darby, and Sammy. Next, another 6 out of 10, Jade Cargill versus Tyconti. Next up, 7 out of 10, Bryan Danielson versus Jon Maxley. Next, 7 out of 10, Ricky Starks versus Wardlow versus Hobbs versus Christian Cage versus Keith Lee versus Orange Cassidy. Another 7 out of 10 up next, Red Dragon versus Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Next 7 out of 10, Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. Then 7 out of 10, House of Black versus Penta Oscuro, Pac and Eric Redbeard. And then finally, my pick for match of the night. I feel like you agree too. An 8 out of 10, MJF versus CM Punk.
I have to agree.
It was such excellent storytelling, start to finish in the feud, and it was beautiful, full of crimson red as well. All right, so again, if you have a question to ask us, please leave it in the chat. If you're listening on Spotify, join us at the live show, twitch.tv/the Pinfall Podcast. Like YouTube. Like, oh shit, that's the wrong channel. No. 1 second. Okay. Alright, so Idro asks, what got us into wrestling? You started watching wrestling before me, so I'll let you go first.
I don't really remember what got me into wrestling, but I know got me to really care about watching wrestling was I think back when I was in college. That's when I started getting back into it.
I think you said it was Bray Wyatt.
It was the Wyatt family, because I remember watching the Wyatt family. I was dating somebody at the time, and his friend was super into it. And he had a project, and we were in a classroom that had like this massive like TV screen, which was awesome. It was like a smart board almost. And we were alone. It was like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So he plugged in his laptop and we watched, I think, like 2016 SummerSlam. No, that wouldn't have made sense. But something at that time. Um, I just remember seeing the Wyatt family being like, this is fucked up. I love it. I think it was that. I think it was just like seeing Wyatt family. I think that got me back into like watching it because it was like interesting, exciting, and dark and creepy, and my skin kind of crawl.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were kind of like unlike any other wrestling trope you would have seen anywhere else.
Yeah.
But apparently I found this out. Speaking of Wyatt family, you know, Eric Rowan retired The Rock.
Really?
His last match.
Huh.
I think it was at WrestleMania 32. It was literally a. Let me mute the tab. I think The Rock won, but it was like a very short match. I think it was like 6 seconds. Yeah, okay, I have it right here. They legit face off and rock bottom, and that's it. And that's it, yeah. Fucking but what got me into wrestling was Liz. I think you were talking about wrestling. I don't know how this started, but you were like, "Hey, let's put on SmackDown." I was like, "Sure, whatever."
It was straight up right before the pandemic started, and I was home from work, and we didn't have anything to watch. And I was like, I was scrolling through like the channels, and I saw SmackDown. I was like, it'd be funny if I showed Mark SmackDown.
I think the first episode we watched was the Symphony of Destruction between Elias and Shinsuke.
If that wasn't the first one, that was definitely um one of like the most notable episodes that we watched.
Let me see. I am curious. So it would have been maybe. Was it after the? I think it was after the Rumble. Oh, okay. Um, February 21st, 2020. Braun Strowman and Elias versus Cesaro and Shinsuke, Symphony of Destruction. Also on that show was The New Day and the Usos versus Dolph, John Morrison, Robert Roode, and The Miz. Daniel Bryan versus Heath Slater, and Naomi versus Carmella. That sound about right? This being our first one?
Being our first one again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Jeff Hardy was involved, so I don't know about that.
Like Jeff Hardy? No, I don't think so.
Huh. Huh.
Oh. I think Heath Slater was definitely involved because 2 episodes before was Daniel Bryan versus Heath Slater again.
No, Heath Slater wasn't involved. We didn't get any Heath.
Hmm.
Almost positive. Almost positive.
Oh. Let's see. Additional events. There's. Oh God, never mind. Go back that. Laptop just. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But it was you. It was my love for stunts. I really loved stunts. And I was like, oh, watching people fight. I know a lot about movie stunts. I could probably have fun with this. And then I found out it was unlike anything I've seen before. Then we watched Raw. We loved Raw.
Yeah.
We loved Raw when it was
Yeah.
like Seth and Drew, like around WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and then
And
Heath showed up.
I remember watching NXT for the first time, and I remember you were doing something else in your where you are right now, and I was like, something happened. And I was like, you have to fuck this. This is bananas.
Yeah.
I think the first episode of NXT that I watched was Damien getting a folding chair after beating up Finn and putting it like on his neck and just sitting down and talking to him. And I was like,
Oh, the first match you showed me. I think the first match you showed me might have been Batista versus Triple H at WrestleMania. With the nose piercing. It was one of the first ones you ever showed me, I think.
yeah, I know what match you're talking
And
about.
I don't remember when you showed me this, but Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. That was one of the first ones you showed me too.
Yeah. I definitely remember Triple H versus because I remember I can't be in the room for that. I hate that match
Yeah.
more than anything.
Love that match. I rewatched it pretty recently.
Longer than I am.
Idro asked one last question. Mount Rushmore for this era. For this era that we're in. Oh, it's tough. If we're talking like overall, over all the companies, oh man. Roman Reigns obviously is on there.
I put Kenny on mine.
Roman, yeah, I'd say Roman, Kenny, Matt Cardona. All the American companies, okay.
Okay, American. Fair enough.
Oh, Bryan Danielson, 100%.
Yeah, I would put Brian. I'd put maybe get like Bianca up there.
I'd say Sasha Banks.
Okay, so I'll do Kenny, Bianca, Sasha, and Brian. I think that those are some pretty strong options right there.
Okay. I've got Roman.
Two ladies get to win.
Okay. I got Roman.
Better than the real Mount Rushmore could ever do.
Yeah. I've got Roman, Kenny, Danielson, and Sasha.
Yeah. I feel like that's a really hard question because I feel like that changes like every other day for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go with Cardona over Roman. Actually, I'll add a fifth. Matt Cardona would be like, he'll be like a little carving out on top of Mount Rushmore from like an artist.
A vandal, if you will.
He's a little bit of vandalism on the Mount Rushmore. Oh god. So yeah, Roman, Danielson, Kenny, Sasha, and vandalized Matt Cardona.
That sounds about right.
Oh god. All right. Oh, that's all the questions we got. Liz, would you like to close this out?
Yeah, I would. I'm really sleepy. If you joined us tonight, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And if you join us in the future, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Have a happy my stepdad's birthday is tomorrow. So for that. Hope that like halfway through tomorrow you just sit down and you're like, this is stepdad's birthday. You move on with your life. Please join us on Tuesday for our WWE 2K20 stream. It's one of our last ones. It will be WWE 2K22 soon, as long as they don't, can ban us from streaming their stuff.
It'll be the go home to Wrestle Conquest, the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Then join us on Wednesday for Dynamite. Fallout from Revolution.
He just said he's celebrating and getting a cake for your stepdad's birthday.
I love that. I that's probably more than I'll do. I'll call him.
All right, thank you all for watching. Follow and
Anyone else
subscribe. Our Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and Spotify are all the Pinfall Podcast. Again, join us on Tuesday for our 2K20 live stream. It'll be a lot of fun. Vote on what you think the best show was and predict your channel points on matches. Thank you all for watching. See you on Tuesday. But until then, have a great Monday and Tuesday morning. We'll see you then.